Hey, what's up YouTube? Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the camera quality of the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 to the Samsung Galaxy S4. I'll be looking at both the front and rear facing cameras and at images and video too. Do also look out for the audio icon in the corner of the screen, and that will indicate to you which device the audio is coming from. I'll be switching between these two to give you guys a better idea of the differences in audio as well. So we're currently indoors, we've got plenty of light, so a decent amount of lighting here. We're using the front facing cameras on both of these devices, and both have 1080p from the front facing cameras as well. And do hit that thumbs up button, and let's head outside and give the rear facing cameras test as well. Alright, now we're using the rear facing cameras outdoors, and we're using 1080p on both of these. And this is the sort of quality that you can expect on both of these cameras. Here's some different colours of some flowers to give you some variation. So we're currently outdoors and we're using the rear facing cameras on both of these devices. One thing to bear in mind is that the Note 3 does have 4K recording, and we're currently recording in 4K, scaled down to 1080p, but we'll crop in now, so you've got the option of zooming in, which is really good on the Galaxy Note 3. Right, so now we're indoors in relatively low light with the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, and this is the sort of quality you can expect. The autofocus, as expected, is very nice and quick and snappy. You can always touch to focus if there's a particular area that you want to focus into, and it does a pretty good job here. Okay, so now we're filming with the Samsung Galaxy S4, the same low lighting as we had with the Note 3, and this is the sort of quality that you can expect. Autofocus, I think on all Samsung devices, is just very quick and snappy. Now before we start on the images, just a big thanks to my buddy HS Fairtex. It was his Note 3 that I used for this video, without which it would have not been possible. So thanks once again to my buddy HS Fairtex. Do go ahead and check him out on Twitter and Instagram. He's an awesome photographer and a great friend. So we'll start off with some selfies from the front facing cameras, hashtag selfies, and I don't look too happy here because the weather was absolutely rubbish, so that's the reason for me not looking too happy in this selfie. In terms of the quality of the images, very similar here. I'd say that the S4 has a little bit more saturation. Now, not everyone likes this. The Note 3 is a little bit more neutral here, but similar in terms of quality. Moving on to an outdoor image in good light. Now, both of these look exactly the same to me. Practically the same here. Lots of color and lots of detail, and that shallow depth of field is also very, very nice. It looks like these have been taken on a DSLR. If we go in 100%, once again, the quality and detail are both pretty much the same. I can't tell much of a difference between both of these, so they're both doing a great job outdoors in good light, and pretty much the same 13 megapixels on both of these as well. Now an outdoor wide image, now here again very, very similar. Can't really tell much of a difference between these two. It was a dull day, but both of them are pretty much doing a very similar job in terms of the quality and detail. Now an indoor image in good light of my breakfast. Yes, food images are some of the most popular that people take, so we do have to have these in the comparison to show you differences in here. But very, very similar once again. Can't notice much of a difference. Both doing an absolutely awesome job. Great detail, and both very, very sharp images as well. Like that depth of field once again. So once again, I'd say they're practically the same. Now an indoor image in low light. Now this is something interesting because the Samsung Galaxy S4 has an auto night detection mode which you can switch on, and I believe that uses a slower shutter speed. The Samsung Galaxy Note 3, they've got rid of this and they've replaced it with smart stabilization. So you've got a smart stabilization option which is also switched on here. I think it does something similar, but you've got slightly different results here. I think in terms of quality and detail, both are doing very similar. Slight difference in terms of the color. You've got a slightly warmer image on the Note 3 with a cooler image on the Samsung Galaxy S4. Now moving on to a rear facing camera shot with the flash on both of these. Now I recommend against using the flash on any smartphone camera, but there is situations where you do have to use it. The S4 a little bit washed out, but the main difference is in terms of color. Once again, you've got a slightly warmer image on the Note 3 and a slightly cooler image on the Samsung Galaxy S4. This may just be down to white balance, a slight variable in white balance, but this is the sort of difference in quality that you can expect. So that was the camera comparison. Overall, I'd say these are very similar, practically the same really. Some very minor differences in terms of color, so it might just be down to slight variables in white balance, but nothing major here. The front-facing camera on the Samsung Galaxy S4, I'd say, has a little bit more saturation, but I think that comes down to personal preference and nothing major here. Once again, very, very minor differences. You've got auto night detection on the Samsung Galaxy S4 versus smart stabilization
on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. So a slight difference there as well in terms of the low light images from both of those. Now the audio once again was practically the same to me, both recording stereo sound. Very nice quality audio from both of these devices, and I didn't really notice a difference when switching between these two. And once again, I'd say both are very similar in terms of images and video. Both take great quality images and video from both the front and the rear facing cameras. The advantage that the Note 3 has, however, is that it can record in 4K. As you saw, you've got 4K recording on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 to 160p, which is a massive resolution. One thing to bear in mind when filming in 4K is that you can't switch on video stabilization. So you may have noticed that the 4K video was a little bit shaky compared to the video stabilization when you have it on in 1080p. But if your camera is going to be pretty static, then you do have that option of cropping in, which is really beneficial on the Note 3. But other than that advantage of 4K, I'd say they are very similar. Very minor differences between these two. That's what I think anyway. What do you think? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And if you want to see more images from both of these and lots of different devices, do go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram. I am at SuperSafTV, and I post lots of different images from lots of different devices, including lots of images of food. So do go ahead and give me a follow on there. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, as always, please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSafTV, and I'll see you next time.
If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter and Google+, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below.